what they call Ladder Canyon. You can see why they call it that now. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal. Today's episode is going to be about a solo hike I took out to Ladder Canyon in Mecca. It's out in eastern Riverside County, and it's kind of near Coachella, where they have the music festival, and also just north of the Salton Sea. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and just because of the length of the drive, I've always put it off. But before I get started, I did want to tell you a little funny story. I was out in the garage a couple days ago, and I had to get into the rafters. And I have this big ladder, so I'm on the ladder, and I'm bent over, climbing up to try to get something in one of the rafters. And I was bent over, and I stood up real quick to reach my hand up to get this thing that was up in the rafters, and there was a nail sticking out of one of the beams, and I didn't see it, and it went right into the top of my head. It's like something out of a horror movie, man. As soon as I hit it, I knew I was in trouble. Got dizzy for a second, and instantly I put my hand up to feel of it, and I could feel it was moist. I looked at my hand, there's blood on my hand. I went, oh, great. Just impaled myself on an old rusty nail. That's all I need. So anyway, I came down, and I did the best I could to clean it up and put a bandage on it. But it's pretty graphic. You really can't see it here, but you can see it right here. I'll show you a close-up picture. I'm not going to do the graphic thing and show you the graphic picture of the blood on my face, but it was pretty bad. But I'm fine. It's more superficial than anything else. It didn't go into my brain or anything like that. But I do have a hard hat that I've had up in the rafters of all places, and I think from now on, whenever I go up there, I'm going to have to put on my hard hat because, that's all I need is to be impaled by some rusty nail and fall off the ladder and break my neck, Well, anyway, so this hike is about my solo trip to Ladder Canyon, and I started off going clockwise. I went up through the ladders. There's a series of ladders, 4 or 5, I think. Then it works its way through a slot canyon, then out into a wash and up above the ridge line, where we have a really good view, actually, of down below to the west. I guess it's west. And you work your way along the top of the ridge line, and then you drop back down into another canyon called Painted Canyon. And that's really pretty. It's more of a sandy wash, so it's gravelly and sandy, and the sand's about a foot deep, so when you're walking, it's like you're at the beach. So that part was kind of bad because it was very, very tiring. But it was kind of flat, so it wasn't too bad. And you do have a couple of, I think there's 1 more or 2 more ladders, and there's like a little rope section you have to go down. But it's pretty much doable for just about anybody. And I was kind of surprised at how many people were there. 20 cars at the Trailhead, probably, maybe even more. And just a ton of people started off right in front of me. But the weird part was I never saw them. So I don't know where they went. I didn't see them on the hike. And I did run into some hikers eventually on my loop, but it wasn't any of the ones I saw originally. So anyway, that's what this hike's going to be about, my 4.5 mile hike through Ladder Canyon and Painted Canyon out in Mecca. That'll all be coming up next in this edition of the Hiking Journal. Stay tuned. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal. Today I'm going to be doing a solo hike. I'm heading out to Mecca. And it's not that Mecca. I'm not in the Middle East, even though it kind of looks like it. It's in the middle of... I guess it's Riverside County, and it's Coachella Valley, just past where they have the Coachella Music Festival. And I got off the side road off the 111. Now I'm heading in toward, I guess, the canyon areas where Ladder Canyon is. Also, it's Painted Canyon is the road I'm looking for. It should be right up here a little bit. To the left. It's been a long drive, 2 hours and 20-minute drive from my house to here. And I just missed the turn. Almost missed it. All right, here we go. Wilderness ahead is what it says. Road open next 5 miles. Passable only for 4-wheel drive. So we'll see what this looks like. Should be about a 5-mile drive down this dirt road to get to Ladder Canyon. So we'll see how rough this road is. say it's passable by two-wheel drive vehicles, even though the sign says four-wheel drive. I'm sure it's got its rough spots, but from what I was told, it's in pretty good shape. Even though right here it's kind of washboard from all the people heading down it. So anyway, I'll be heading down this road for about 5 miles till I get to Ladder Canyon. If I don't lose my teeth, jarred right out of my head. Says I've got about 10 minutes to go to get to the trailhead for the canyon here, and so this, you know, I've been on a lot of dirt roads, and even though this one is fairly nice and flat, you can tell a lot of people have been down it because it's really washboardy and a lot of air. You don't need to air down your tires, you know, for traction, but definitely for comfort, because this is a kidney jar for sure. You know, maybe I ought to slow down a little bit. I don't know, but temperatures it was 53 when I first started. I don't know, 5 minutes ago down the road, and now it's 57. So our temperature's already gone up. Daytime high is only supposed to be 63. So we'll see. I should be at the end of this road, which is Painted Canyon Road, and that's the start of the trail up to Ladder Canyon. It's only about a 4-mile hike, but it does involve a slot canyon with some ladders and maybe a rope or two, some scrambling up some rocks. So some of that's not for the faint of heart, but hopefully it won't be too busy today. That's why I opted to go in a midweek day, not on the weekend, because I hear this place gets nuts on the weekend, especially this time of year when you know, temperatures are going to be in the low 60s. Perfect time to be out here in the desert. So anyway, I should be coming up on the trailhead here in about 5 minutes, maybe. You can tell there's a canyon in front of me, and to the right, and it looks like that's where we're headed. So I should be there in a couple minutes. Also got the back window open in the Jeep. I broke the zipper and I can't put the window in and out. So all the way here today I had to drive with the no back window. And when you do that, carbon monoxide comes back inside the cab, and so you have to have your windows rolled down. It was, when I was going through the mountains back there on the way in, it was 38. Boy, I was freezing. So anyway, it's a lot nicer here. It's dropped now. It's 56, but into the canyon should be coming up here in a second. Seeing a couple of adventure vans parked on the side of the road at the Overlanders, looking for a place to pull over, I guess. Well, anyway, I'm working my way up the end of Painted Canyon Road, just outside of Mecca, and I'm going to be going to the Ladder Canyon Trailhead. This road goes about 5 miles to the end of the road, and there's a trailhead for a Ladder Canyon and Rope Canyon, I think is what it's called. It's about only a 4-mile trail. In fact, there's a trail. Oh, this must be the exit or something. I don't know. There's somebody over here walking around. I don't know what that is. That's not the entrance to the trail, though, because I was told the road literally ends. So that lady's over there walking around. There are some pretty unique and interesting rock formations and cliffs and canyons. So, the big boulder. But anyway, so it's only a 4-mile hike, but it does involve climbing up and over some ladders and some rock outcrops, and I might have to shimmy down a rope or two if there's another vehicle in front of me now. There's another car on the right. I think they're overlanding. It's a good spot. It kind of reminds you of Joshua Tree a little bit. Anyway, should be coming up on the end of the road here pretty soon. Some pretty big dips here. I have the Jeep, so I'm fine, but almost to the trailhead. I know I've been saying that for a while now, but as we're heading through these slots, yeah, to the corner. When we get to the end of the trail, when we get to the end of the road down here, we have to look for some rocks. I kind of know what it looks like from looking at the pictures, and I also have to look for a ladder that's going to be going up to my left. Two different ways you can go. You can go clockwise, which starts to your left, and you climb the ladders on your way up to the backside of the canyon, and you work your way to the right down through the wash, or you can go the other way and go down the ladders. I think I prefer going up the ladders. That was the recommended route, so that's what I'm going to be taking today. The road should be coming to an end here pretty soon. The truck that was in front of me, I had to stop for a second to readjust some stuff. Oh, in fact, here's the trailhead right in front of me. There's a bunch of cars. All right, well, it looks like we've come to the end of Painted Canyon and our official trailhead that's going to take us up to the ladders. There's quite a few cars here, actually. See if I can find me a spot to park, even though I don't want to listen to the seatbelt chime the whole time I'm here. So there's quite a few cars here. I'm kind of surprised. I'll just park over here somewhere. All right, we have arrived. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal. Today I'm out here in Mecca, California. It's just a stone's throw from Coachella, where they have the big music festival every year. And I'm going to be taking a trip up to Ladder Canyon. And it's going to be about a 4-mile hike. It's going to involve some rock scrambling. I got to ascend some ladders. I got to get through a couple of slot canyons. And maybe if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll find the way around the backside where we can maybe use some rope-assisted descents down back into the canyon floor and work our way back over here to the trailhead. It's about 50 degrees, 53 degrees, something like that here on a beautiful day in January. And I'm really surprised for a Tuesday. There's probably 15 cars and probably 30 people already ahead of me. I didn't know it'd be that busy here on a weekday. I know on the weekends it gets busy, but I didn't think it'd be that bad on a Tuesday. And believe it or not, I think I am the youngest person here today. So I guess they must have taken a drive out from the Palm Desert or Palm Springs, and they're going to be taking a trip up Ladder Canyon just like me. Anyway, I'm going to be starting up the trail here in a little bit. I got to go read the informational sign and get some photos before we start. I am taking a rope and some gloves just in case I need the extra assistance. And let's get going, huh? Well, I made the drive out here to the Ladder Canyon Trailhead out here in Mecca. And this is a little busier than I thought it would be. There's probably 25 cars here right now, and this is 10 in the morning on a midweek. And I bet you 40, 50 people already went up the trail ahead of me, right in front of me. And that didn't even include the cars that were already here. So this might be a busy day. And the funny thing is that I think I'm the youngest person here today. Everybody here is 70 plus. They appear to be at least late 60s. And so if they can make it up all these ladders, I guess I can do it too, huh? So anyway, we're going to be heading this way down the canyon looking for our first ladder. All right, we have reached our first ladder climb. And you can looks like you can take the ladder I have to remember, I have gloves in my pack. All right, well, this is what they call Ladder Canyon. You can see why they call it that now. This is probably a good 25-foot ladder. We gotta get to that next level. Well, it looks like everything doesn't have a ladder. Luckily, I've got shoes with some good traction to get to this next level. Looks like we have another ladder right here. Okay, I wonder where that goes. Let's go check this out real quick. Let's see where this goes. There's a big ladder right there. Going all the way up. This is definitely one place you do not want a big fat pack. It's like the slot opens up a little bit over there. We got a support bar holding this one up. Hopefully this is pretty strong. Well, I'm working my way through the slot here. There's probably more ladders coming up, I imagine. But this slot continues. Looks like quite a ways. And it's funny, all of those people I saw earlier, I can't hear anything. It's deathly quiet in here. Well, I just took a second to check the offline All Trails map, and it looks like I'm about a third of the way around. And I have a feeling, I don't know for sure, that I've climbed most of the ladders, I think. On the way up here, there's a guy heading down the canyon. He said there's a few on the way out as well, on the other part of the loop. So we'll see. But the canyon has definitely opened up. There's some pretty interesting rock formations and cliffs and ledges that if I wasn't solo and I had more time, it'd be a great spot to stop and explore. I wonder what it'd be like camping here overnight. You could definitely probably overland camp at the Trailhead. Get an early start where the crack of dawn. Be a good trip out here. There's even a bunch of side canyons like this one. You know, as I'm working my way through the canyon, I just find it so odd that I can't hear anybody else. For I know there's 40 or 50 people ahead of me as I'm working my way up toward the top. I could see why you would want to do this in the heat. But today it's nice and cool. Well, I have a feeling this boulder isn't natural. I have a feeling probably rolled down from up top somewhere. And hopefully there was nobody standing right there. You know, when you're working your way through dry washes like this, slot canyons, you have to be mindful of how these were made. These were made from flash floods over the last century, where heavy rains farther to the east just dropped tons of water and moisture up the valley, and as the water ran downhill, it carved its way through the sandstones here and carved this wash. So before you come out here to do a hike like this, you need to pay attention to the weather, not only for the immediate weather right near where this trailhead is, but maybe weather 5-10 miles out, because it cannot be raining here. It can be a deluge 5 miles away, 10 miles away, and all that water is going to flow downhill into the point of least resistance, which over the years has been determined by nature to be this. So you don't want to be stuck down here in one of those narrow slots with 100-foot tall cliffs on both sides where you got nowhere to go. You'll end up being debris washed downstream, just like that boulder we saw sticks and twigs and rocks and logs, and the likelihood of you getting caught behind one of these rocks or logs or in one of these little nooks and drowning is pretty high. So just something to think about when you're out here in the desert. It's not always dry. There's a monsoon season. Well, as you can see, it looks like I'm reaching the top here of something. This is probably where I'm climbing out of the wash. It's been my loop part of the hike. You can see down below there, that's the canyon I came from. Way off in the distance, Coachella and Mecca. That's a steep climb. Looks like we've got some ocotillos just now starting to bloom as I'm coming up out of the wash. That down there is Ladder Canyon. As it works its way, zigzagging, I guess that would be to the east, out toward Mecca. It's a steep climb right here, but it's open. Well, it's a little early in the year for ocotillo, but they are pretty. You just don't want to touch one. Well, to be honest with you, this part kind of sucks. It's open, exposed, it's steep, and while it does have some pretty good views behind you, it's just pretty dry out here, and looks like I'm going to be heading up towards those repeaters and making a loop. I think Painted Canyon is down there on that side. That's where I'm going to eventually be heading. A couple more ladders to get down, and then it's a canyon walk through the sand. Well, it appears that I have topped out above Ladder Canyon, worked my way around clockwise to the top of the ridgeline, out of the wash, and then now I'm back around on this side, and now I'm entering Painted Canyon. I had to go down a little steep sandy section, and now I'm back in the wash in a completely different canyon. I ran into two groups. I ran into a boyfriend and girlfriend, probably in their early 30s, and then maybe husband and wife. Then two other gals, probably in their 40s, taking a break. They said, just keep heading the way I'm heading, you can't get lost. I'll take that. Well, I can see why they call this Painted Canyon. Look at the color of these rocks. Check out the striations in the rock. This magnificent cliff. Well, for about the last 45 minutes, I've been walking in this sand, and it's soft. And I'm in direct sun. I gotta admit it. Legs are getting a little tired, you know, walking in this sand. Ran into another group of three. They were kind of done with the sand too, I think. Check out how this rock is folded over. As we're working our way out of Painted Canyon. All right, looks like for this section we have a little rope to aid in the descent. There's a group of ladies in front of me, and one of them said, that this rope didn't used to be here. Makes it a lot easier. Well, this ladder isn't anchored in as well as some of the other ones, and it tends to slide around a bit. Well, as you can tell, I made it out of Painted Canyon. Foaming up a bit. All that bouncy road on the way in here. But the humidity out here is probably, it's got to be single digits. If not, it's like 12%, something like that. It is bone dry out here. And you can tell by the type of vehicles that are here. SUVs, there's a Toyota Camry over there. There's a Hyundai Genesis on the other side. So even though it is washboardy, it's doable. And I was surprised to see so many elderly people on the trail. I didn't see actually any on the ladders. So that group of like 30, 40 people in front of me, I don't know where they went. Maybe they went the other way up Painted Canyon when they got to the split. They didn't take the ladder trail at all like I did. Ran into a couple elderly people coming down down Painted Canyon, so maybe that's the route they go. But even that, it's hard. That sand and the rocks and the gravel, and it's hard on your legs. Even my knee kind of hurts because every time you put your foot down, it kind of shifts from your body weight left and right 2 or 3 inches, and there's a lot of lateral torsion on your joints, and I can see that being a problem for elderly people. Even for me, I'm in my 60s, and I can attest to that. But it was a good hike. It's only 1:15. I don't even know what time I got here. Probably 9:30 or 10. So it was like a 3-hour hike. I took my time. I went up and down those ladders probably 3 times. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy this nice cool breeze out here. I was actually getting hot up there. A little chilly in the shade in the canyon with the wind blowing, but out here it's not bad. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hiking Journal. My trip out to Mecca, California, and my hike up Ladder Canyon and the loop around the backside, and I came back down through Painted Canyon. Anyway, I don't know what's next for the Hiking Journal. I haven't had anything tickle my fancy yet. There's still one hike that's on my bucket list I haven't done yet, and that's Blue Angel Peak, and that's another far drive. I don't know. And I also don't know if I want to do that solo, so I might have to wait till I find somebody willing and able to make a drive out there. That's a tough one. In the meantime, I want to enjoy my Miller High Life. I haven't had one of these in 20 years. And start my slow crawl out of the canyon here. I'm going to go slow. I don't want to beat myself up on that washboard. What's the point of that? You know what I mean? Still got a long drive. I got to drive all the way through Coachella into Indian Wells, La Quinta, and then I got to work my way up the Spines to Pines Hallway or Palms to Pines Highway up and over up toward Anza and then all the way home. So it's going to be about a 2.5-hour drive, but I think it was worth it. I think I got some good video. I think you guys will enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the next hike and the next adventure we do here on the Hiking Journal. Anyway, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends about the channel, and maybe it'll motivate them to dust off their boots and grab some snacks and head on out the trail. Maybe I'll see you. Anyway, take care. See you down the trail. All right, we are heading out of Painted Canyon from the trailhead. I gotta admit, I'm a little tired. And of course, driving home, I'm gonna be driving into the setting sun all the way, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. It's not too bad though. It's pretty up here, but it's gorgeous and on the sunrise and the sunset. Might have to take another trip out here. You never know. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Hiking Journal. My trip out to Ladder Canyon and doing the Ladder Canyon and Painted Canyon loops. It ended up only being about 4.5, almost 5 miles for the little side trips that I did. And believe it or not, I was a little more tired than I thought I would be. It was a good drive home, and I made a point to stop off at Dutch Brothers in Indio to get an Americano iced coffee, which really hit the spot on the way home. So anyway, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and tell your friends about the channel so more people will be familiar with some of the local hikes in their area, and then some that are not even in their area. If they don't have a problem driving a little bit like I did the last couple of adventures. I drove 2 hours to get to the trailhead, but it was worth it. And it's always great to find a new and interesting location to hike to. Well, anyway, take care, and I'll see you down the trail. Bye-bye.